adoption of the agenda.
I move we approve the agenda as presented. Second.
I have a motion and a second to approve the agenda. All those in favor?
Aye.
Next is the minutes from the May 28th meeting.
Move to approve as presented. Second.
I have a motion and a second to approve the minutes from the May 28th meeting. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? No audience. Looks like on reports, we did have two incidents. What happened there?
On our water main, we were pouring across the road. Water main on one side, the one marked. We found it.
Did it break it?
I think it hit the, scraped the top of it enough to cause it to have to be repaired.
Okay.
It was spewing whole volume, but good enough.
Was it one of our contractors or was it?
No, it was us.
It was us.
We were doing service.
Okay. Okay. And then the other one on mowing.
Yeah, mower just got mower dirt pile got some debris up under his safety glasses. We have since ordered different safety glasses with more foam padding under them and gave them more instruction on proper procedures of mowing.
Don't mow dirt mountain.
Yeah. I want a dirt mound. So it just required like washing his eye out?
Yeah.
That's what was needed. Okay. Thank you. All right, we'll go into reports. First, Eric, good morning.
Morning. Do have an action item today. It's the asphalt driveway north of the UV building. Bids were opened on June 3rd. We did receive 4 bids. Recommendation would be motion to accept the bid from Higgins Asphalt for $18,310 to asphalt the driveway north of the UV building.
What's the footage on that?
It was 210 foot long, 30 foot wide. So there's a spot that's 50 foot wide at the end of it.
How thick of an asphalt?
4 inches.
Have any heavy equipment or trucks or anything going up and down there?
Rarely. We may bring the spreader truck around a few times, but rarely do we go the other way usually.
Just in the winter, just throw ice, melt down and make the best of it. Make a motion to accept the bid from Higgins Asphalt of $18,310 to asphalt the driveway north of the UV building.
Second.
Have a motion and a second to accept the bid from Higgins Asphalt of $18,310 to asphalt the driveway north of the UV building. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Thank you. I don't have anything else to add. Was in the packet, but we can answer any questions.
So the aeration basin that we're demoing it completely?
Yes, as far as we can. Taking the blower units out, the piping, we're going to take the diffusers out and try to do some cleaning in that basin where there's some debris down there.
Okay. The basin will remain, is that
Yeah.
correct?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Anything more for Eric?
Pretty good price Higgins gave you.
Yeah.
I thought so too.
Thank you, Eric. Jared, good morning.
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 I don't really have anything to add to what's in the packet, but I'd be happy to answer any questions if you got them.
That rate for plastic, 17 cents per pound, is that high? Is that about normal?
That's one of the highest I've seen
Is it?
for plastic. Yep,
Okay.
So we dumping it?
we did. Yep.
Good.
Cardboard and paper has gone down again this month. Getting to about the point where we're probably going to start holding on to some of it for a while.
Jeff has it in his portion too, but I'm interested about your lessons learned meeting with Ethos. Is that just, did they come hat in hand a little bit, or did they, was there?
Well, they learned, and I think they probably benefited out of it more than anybody, and I requested some financial relief. We have yet to hear back from them. project turned into 18 months and the price doubled. So we have requested some pricing relief from them, and they're supposed to get back with us. So, I'm happy to share lessons learned, but, if they don't do something to make up for what we had to go through, and I've got a number in mind.
Yeah, got it.
So we're working on it.
Did you leave with a follow-up? I mean, is there going to be a?
They're supposed to
another
get back
schedule?
with us, after, when I made that request, they said because they were obviously not the people to, make that decision, but they were gonna pass that on and then get back with us. So,
I mean, I understand they had a poor project manager, but at the end of the day, it took way too long, cost way too much.
yep. And we shared that with them. And, we're hoping to get, I think we got some leverage, I think. We'll see.
Anything more for Jared? Okay. Thank you, Jared. Grant, good morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
Just one update. We did have a kickoff meeting scheduled with Burns and McDonald. It has been, has to be rescheduled. We don't have a date for that yet. But we did go ahead and they opened a porthole and we are sharing information. So they're actually started on that project. We said it officially as a kickoff meeting.
Just a comment, Grant. I think our water tower guy is just telling us what he wants us to hear.
I call him every 2 weeks and it's going to be about twice a week now.
Yeah, I'd call him every day.
He, they were in the area and they're as of Monday or Tuesday, they were in the area and they're not quite done with that job. They'll be by when they're done with that job. But we've heard that
Yeah,
long enough.
okay. Anything more for Grant?
How many total feet is the College Street?
20, just a touch over 2,700.
Thank you.
Moving right along.
They're tying the south side of the college in as we go, and then we'll go back and do the north runs to get all the way out of College Street when we get the main disinfected.
And I know we're putting that main right over by the curb. Was the old main farther out into the
It's
street?
farther out in the street,
Okay.
probably 3.5, 4 foot further north than the main one. Okay.
All right. Anything else for Grant? Thank you, Grant. Doug, good morning.
Morning.
Gentlemen, not much to update. Toth is still working on evaluating the bids for the switchgear mounted substation. They are going to request a second round of proposal logs to try to evaluate those a little better. Solar panel backfeed, we tested all of them except for one, have a little access issues there, but haven't found any issues yet. So that's all I got, unless you have any questions for me.
A friend of mine lives on Stonehaven, and he was very complimentary of your crew, specifically Dustin, when they went through his yard, so.
I'll pass that on.
Always good to hear. Anything else for Doug? Thank you, Doug. Jim, good morning.
Morning.
As mentioned, we hit a water main that was marked as clear on the locate, so there's nothing there. So, Kramer has basically finished and moved to Texas. They've still got some equipment. They'll be coming back here in a few weeks to tidy up any loose ends and get the rest of their equipment. T&T is about halfway done with their first contract. Coleman's almost done with his last year's contract. Making progress on several different areas, getting lots of conduit ground, but a lot of empty conduit, so trying to keep up best we can. Answer any questions if you've got them.
Any update on getting access to that conduit under I-70?
I've talked with the owner and he seems amenable to an easement, just he wants some specific stuff and I went out and walked it last week. Need to get with Cody on getting some prescriptions together. And I need to get with the commissioner on, see if they've got an as-built. Different people tell me different things on both in the ground, so I need to see if I can find something official.
update on the lead and copper samples. The supplies did go out to the residents, and we've started getting some of them back. Hopefully we'll get all of them back by July 1st and everything. But other than that, be happy to answer any other questions.
Acid's all gone.
Yes.
All right. Anything for Travis? Thank you, Travis. Megan, good morning.
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 Not much to update. Do want to congratulate Mark Clausing and Caleb Griffith on being selected employees of the quarter. And then on our vacancies, Joe Coslet did start yesterday filling the groundman opening in IT and broadband. And apologies for my typo attributing the water line to underground. Sorry about that, guys.
You mentioned cybersecurity safety training. This may be a question for Jim. Have we had any cyber attacks or anything, or trying to?
I think it's been a couple of years since we've had any of those that locked your computer. And those we just put in, replace or redo the software, so it hasn't been a big issue. We get all kinds of hackers trying to crack passwords and things like that every day, but nothing successful in showing on emails and things like that. So far, there's nothing really too serious that I'll come with.
They just beat us to death, bank with that stuff. But I mean, there's thousands of security threats a day, you know, so be diligent about it.
Insurance keeps coming out and all the new requirements that they want for everything.
Anything more? All right, we're ready for, thank you, Megan.
Thank you.
Tony?
Morning.
Morning.
We did get another reimbursement submission sent in. That 806 does include our 25% match, so our rembursement's really gonna be around 600, a little over 600 of that. As you know, I started working on the budget. Just to give you guys a timeline, not the next meeting, but the very next meeting after that, should have a draft to you guys. So we'll be working on that over the next few weeks. But other than that, I'd be happy to answer any questions.
July the 9th,
And
I'll be out.
you'll be out.
Yeah, but it's a draft at that point.
Yeah, it'd be a draft, and I think we got an extra month break in between that and the next meeting, so
Yeah,
we'll have
okay.
time to get together if we need to.
Be out on vacation for a while.
Yeah, I think the 30th of July is the next meeting after that, so.
Anything more for Tony? Thank you, Tony. Jim, good morning.
Morning, gentlemen. The wastewater treatment plant agreement with the county, Elizabeth has reviewed that and it looks good. So probably bring that to you guys the first board meeting in July to look at. I talked to Monty Finner yesterday at MSDC, and they're hoping this week to get a release. They had Indians, you know, make sure that there's no artifacts and all that, but I think all that's been done. They're just waiting on the release letter, and then they'll start construction of the plant. So they've got the bids awarded for the plant construction and all that, so that should be getting started here pretty soon. Let's see what else we've got going here. Yeah, we did have the ethos discussion. We're hoping we'll get some funding back on that. Did send out Energy Center groundbreaking. We had Ashton and Lindsay were up Monday with MEC people. They're going to coordinate all that, and we've been working with them. So looking forward to that. I think she said the head of the PSC was going to be here, but the governor, he already had plans. So, but they did invite the governor, so it's going to be a pretty big deal. Not much else to add. We did see this, laid this out for you guys. I thought this was pretty interesting. SPP wind had a record 1 hour drop and a record 2 hour drop. In 1 hour, they dropped 8,867 megawatts. In 2 hours, they dropped 12,720 megawatts. So that is equivalent to 333 marshals and about 5 million people. So just when the wind quit, that's how much was lost. And that really, I think emphasizes the type of project we've got going here and some other ones around the state. So I just thought that was interesting and wanted to pass it on to you. So, be happy to answer any questions.
Have we had any dealings with the third-party inspections people through the city yet?
We had a meeting yesterday afternoon and with JD and Anne Marie, and then Doug, Grant, and I are going to attend the meeting tomorrow at 5:30 with the contractor. So, yeah, I think we're getting that ironed out, and hopefully we'll provide some assistance to them tomorrow and answer questions with the contractors.
On the lessons learned with ethos, is there, knowing that they did things wrong, is there anything we could have done different that, we look back on and we think about?
Probably, I think that first project manager, I think we'd have questioned him more. I mean, it was our first rebuild. It was OEM. You kind of think, but I think in hindsight, we probably would have. Of course, Jared, I think, made some attempts to make other people aware of it. We would have probably been a little bit more adamant about what was going on. After that, I think the next two project managers we had really did a good job. They were, in my mind, were sent in to clean up a mess, and those were the two that were here for the lessons learned. I think they're not just cleaning up the first project manager's mess; they're cleaning up the whole mess. And they did good work for us, but prior to that, there was a lot of trouble. So, yeah.
Did I hear that somebody drove into the office building?
They just caught the corner of it. Yeah, and I think, Megan, we've identified them, knocked a chunk of the concrete blocks off, probably not that tall and maybe that deep. All something.
Accidental?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Okay. Anything else, Jeff?
No, that's all I got.
Anything more for Jeff? Thank you, Jeff. Next is cash disbursement. Power bills in there.
And we've got a services and rates meeting next week to discuss the transition to the new capacity credits. We're thinking January 26th is when that'll start. We'll meet next week and kind of see. It's going to be a pretty big transition for utilities that aren't getting credits just due to capacity costs going up. So if you've got generation, you're going to receive some funding, but there'll be an increase on our wholesale bill as well. So, and it'll be on everybody's bill. So we want to make sure when we make that transition, we're not budget wrecking some of the smaller units.
Make a motion to approve cash disbursements.
Second.
Have a motion and a second to approve cash disbursements. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Other business? I am curious, as I kind of thought about that, if we have an outside contractor that has an accident, would we expect them to self-report to us? Does that go on our account toward any of our incidents?
Well, not, we don't count it at, you got a line item there that says property damage contractor, it would show up there.
Oh, okay. Okay. But what if they have like a recordable? That's not on us, is it? business? Not, the next board meeting is June the 25th. And then, yeah, July the 9th, I'll be out. One after that.
And I'll be at the next board meeting, the June 25th.
Okay.
And then, executive.
Yeah, so, yeah, ready to maybe adjourn, take a recess, and then enter into executive session for legal matters. Chuck Hines, yes,
You want to make a motion?
or yeah, motion.
I make a motion that we take a short recess and then go into executive session. Second.
A motion and a second to take a recess and enter into executive session for legal matters. All those in favor?
Steve Mills, yes. Ken Bryant, yes.
Chuck Hines, yes.